welcome to Multi-Poptural, multimedia, multicultural, and pop culture as fuck. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as SoundCloud at Multi-Poptural. Don't forget the show is rated R for strong, shitty language, as well as some spoilers! Welcome to episode 2 of Multi-Poptural. Today we're going to be covering a little movie that came out last week, Avengers 3 Infinity War. Before we get into that, though, we definitely want to thank you for checking out our first 2 episodes on Walking Dead as well as Ready Player One. And we do want to give a big thanks to this beautiful podcast studio that we're in, Press Play Studios, and of course our sound engineer over here, Robert. Did a fantastic job of making us sound like professionals on our first podcast ever. So,
and he's sexy.
Yeah, and he looked good too.
Goddamn.
Professional's a stretch.
Very good point.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Brown, a.k.a. Doo-Doo Brown, a.k.a. Dirty Deadpool, a.k.a. USDA Fresh Meat, a.k.a. Eagles Nation All Day Bleed Green.
Bird Gang.
Bird Gang, Bird Gang.
Oh, my God.
Bird Gang, boy. Hey, better than Cleveland, am I right?
Painful for the Cleveland guy.
Who isn't?
Yeah, exactly. I'm your guy for everything video games, heavy metal music.
Hey, it's Jerry.
Pretty cool, huh, Morty? Oh,
I thought it was cool.
I don't give a what you think, Jerry.
A.K.A. Don, a.k.a. J-Don, a.k.a. J-Don Draper. I'm the comic nerd over here at Multi-Poptural.
I'm Ryan Saba. For all my Xbox fans out there, you can find me on PUBG as Mr. Sabatooth. I'm often referred to as Captain Cleveland. I am the resident Browns loyalist, Chief Wahoo defender, and LeBron James lover. And for all my Toronto Raptors fans out there, the real king of the North.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Hey everybody, this is Brian,
No! God, please, no! No!
a.k.a. El Nino, a.k.a. Behern, a.k.a. Puerto Rican Poppy,
Puerto
or as Jordan
Rico.
likes to call me, the tiny, what was it?
Little
The
babe, sexy little baby bear.
Sexy little baby bear.
You sexy little baby bear.
No gamer tags because I pretty much use my Xbox One for Netflix and Hulu only.
We want to take the opportunity to shout out one of our sponsors, Gate City Growlers. They have 20 taps. They specialize in small North Carolina breweries and specialty craft beers. Working with the little guys since 2015. Guys, please stay local. Take care of the local shops.
Speaking of gamer tags,
Loser.
Doo-Doo Brown 3879 PS4. Catch me on Fortnite. Catch them solo.
Catch me outside, homie.
Catch me on them squad dubs. All right, let's get into this bullshit.
That's perfect. Let's do it. We're going to, of course, talk about the biggest movie that's probably going to be of all time, Infinity War, Avengers 4.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, we're going right into me.
Wow.
The
The
host.
biggest movie of all time.
Well, I mean, it was soon to be. It was the biggest opening ever.
Owen Wilson, wow.
I mean, we
And-
kind of like it.
Yeah, I think it was all right.
I mean, I've heard things
You
about
know,
this,
it
about this
did
movie.
sell more, It sold more than Justice
Pre-sale.
League did
Yeah.
the entire time Justice League was out.
Well, Justice League is ass.
Well, it's terrible.
The numbers are there. Let's
The
put it.
numbers are there. All right, so starting off with me. This is unexpected. I'm usually not the one starting off. All right, as far as the movie goes, honestly, I genuinely loved it. I thought it was going to end the way I wanted it to end with him. You know, as we mentioned before, spoilers ahead. But, you know, to me, the big thing is the bad guy finally wins one in the Marvel Universe. We're so used to every single movie that they come out, the bad guy's dead or disappears at the end or this, that, the other. I was just honestly thrilled. And I mean, you know, this has been leading up for 10 years now for one of the biggest, baddest villains of all time. And to actually kind of see him, quote unquote, win, to me was a big exclamation point as far as, yes, you know, finally Marvel's getting it. They're going a little bit darker. It's not all just rainbows and sunshine and the good guy always wins. And they also, most importantly, stayed fairly true to the Infinity Gauntlet comics, which I thought was a big, you know, granted, I mean, he did it for different reasons in the comics.
Different reasons, yeah.
You know, he was trying to impress Death, but I think this time around...
They tried to make him more human.
Exactly.
And more approachable and more likable by us, which hugely, I mean, it worked.
They humanized the Titan.
They did.
Yes.
And he's still a mad Titan, though.
Yes, he is.
Exactly. And that was actually, you know,
He's a
a great
motherfucker.
segue into my second point. Josh Brolin, I thought, was phenomenal as Thanos. I mean, voiced him very, very well. Gave him what?
Silence your phone.
Yeah, silence your fucking phone, you noob.
I know I am. All right, so we'll go back to the.
No, just keep going. Just keep going. That's
Keep going.
hilarious to
He'll
put
cut
that in
He'll
there.
cut it in.
Hilarious.
cut it
Keep
in.
that shit in there. Let's rag on you a little bit. You fuck. Expose you, bitch.
Expose him. My cell phone. Yeah. So, anyways, Josh Brolin did a fantastic job. I thought he was amazing as Thanos. He really gave the character life. You know, and there was a point to where I know this is going to sound really, really shitty and terrible, but you know, when his reasoning about it, as far as the balance of life and everything that comes with it, it's just like, yeah, I know you're going to have to wipe out like half of
Existence.
the universe and existence, but it makes sense, you know? So I really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. You know, as far as you guys, you know, what are your kind of takes from that? Those are my first two takes from the movies.
I'll go ahead. I mean, I think just sort of some general overview ideas. You know, Thanos' boy, that motherfucker is a creepy weirdo.
Squidward.
Yeah,
Squidward.
That dude, I feel like I'm going to have a
Ebony-
nightmare at some point here in the
Ebony
next
Maw.
few weeks.
Yeah,
with
just
this.
Ebony
specify.
Maw.
I save the names for you guys. I use technical terms like creepy weirdo. You know, I think when you start at the beginning, I mean, obviously we just roll that thing's going hot and heavy from the beginning. I think that Thanos and Hulk fight in the beginning, it really sets the tone, right? It's a rude awakening. Like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
Like this dude.
Let him
is
have his fun.
That's right. Let him
Yeah.
have his fun.
With the Hulk.
And then, you know, obviously when
And not Eric Bana Hulk.
yeah, no.
Not even Ed Norton Hulk.
You know, and the concern on Tony and Bruce's face when they're talking to, you know, Doctor Strange and his boy, and he's kind of giving him the story behind it, and you know, Tony's just kind of sitting there and he's just super concerned. I mean, that to me was extremely, you know, sobering.
He was definitely focused on Thanos for a few years
Seriously.
now. I mean, he had that vision in Age of Ultron, and that's been nothing more on his mind than that.
Yep.
But
He's
as
been
a-
trying to prepare for him this whole time.
As a side note, though, what's up with Tony Stark having a flip phone? Like, I
Well, it was the one that
don't
was the one that
fucking-
Cap gave him.
I don't understand.
That's how you can't. I mean, in every movie you've ever seen or TV show, that that's how you stay away from like people tracking you is to have a flip phone. It's a destroyable phone. That's just
like the guys
Burner
like
phones.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, a
so
burner.
Like,
Yeah.
Did you
like
say a
Al
burner?
Qaeda. Al Qaeda goes analog to get away from the digital.
hey, that's that burner.
Wow, he went Al Qaeda. I was actually going to go with the Wire and the burner phones from the Wire.
Yeah,
but actually,
yeah.
Al Qaeda, okay.
It's like
All
having
right.
a sidekick.
So
Two.
I think overall the movie flowed well. There was good pace. You know, I was a little concerned about how they're going to mesh all these stories together. You know, but I thought, you know, Cleveland's own Anthony and Joe Russo,
Oh my gosh.
they did not disappoint us. And then the rewatchability factor is
go see it
extremely high.
go see it
I
again
saw
right
it twice this week.
Yep.
Yep.
And, you know, they left us wanting more.
Yep.
Immediately wanting more.
Yeah.
Like to go see the same movie again more.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Jay Don.
Well, right from the beginning, I mean, like you said, it was hot and heavy. It went right into the story. But I was actually looking at a lot of the comic moments that they pulled inspiration from. They didn't necessarily make a movie all about, that followed the line, every storyline of the comics. But what they did was they took a little piece of this, a little piece of that.
Right.
Like they took some Infinity Gauntlet, they took some Thanos Quest, they took
Yeah.
some Infinity, like Jonathan Hickman's Infinity, and they kind of just rolled it together into one massive story. And I think they did a really good job. And to your point, what how they melded all these characters together, I think they gave them the perfect amount of time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do not.
And then I don't think anybody was completely oversaturated in this movie.
I do. I think Iron Man is way oversaturated.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, dude. Like,
If anybody, it was Iron Man.
thank you.
But
For
I
working.
understand that because
Anybody,
he
it was
kicked this whole
Peter
thing
Dinklage.
off. We'll get to him.
We're going to get to that later.
Is it my go? My go? Are you done? J-Don?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus.
It's your turn.
Oh, my God.
We'll mention it in there.
I like-
Me now, slap it.
I like knowing when I'm up
bet.
at bat. You know what I'm just saying. I'm just ready. I use the sports term, everyone.
Bat and cleanup.
You guys
by the
ready?
way, you're batting cleanup. This is baseball terminology.
Dude, you're going way too quick for me. I gotta learn this.
I know.
Play by play.
That foosball.
Play by play. Calm down, you fuzzy little man, Peach.
Is that going to be his thing now? Every show, I got a
think so.
stupid ass nickname.
Yeah,
Fuzzy
you
little man, Peach.
You're still a baby bear to me.
Thanks.
Wow. Way to just
getting deep.
nix what I just said out of my mouth words.
We're getting deep.
But
in the sauna.
okay, so I'm looking at my paper and
It says no notes.
Big ass letters.
Jordan's well prepared again, by the way, for all our
I don't
fans out
understand
there.
why you even bring that fucking thing.
because it holds my Lord and Savior on here, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ripley!
That was one of the coolest notebooks I've ever
It
seen.
is.
Thank you.
It is.
Thank you. All right, where were we?
Had to make it weird.
What I liked. No, Sigourney Weaver didn't make it weird.
No, it's just you.
Like showing up at the end of Cabin in the Woods, but great movie.
That'll be
All right, so my favorite, or I'll just say my least favorite moments of the movie. How about that?
Let's do that.
So I really hated that they killed all 4 of Thanos' children in this movie. All 4 of them. They're supposed to be so
agree.
supremely badass that it's so impossible to kill them, and they're so like threatening and whatnot. However, they just died with the snap of a finger.
No pun intended.
No pun
Not
intended.
that snap.
Not that snap. Not that snap. Like the Benden snap. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Avengers snapped their asses.
They all just, I mean, like they were all badasses. Then they were like impossible to kill. And then all of a sudden, every single one of them, like Proxima was just thrown up randomly. Like, oh, we're having this tough
Shredded.
fight. We're having this tough fight. Oh, nope. Scarlet Witch comes down. Boop. Flicks her up in the air. Like, oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
Hulk is having this hard fight. Oh, the Hulk, you won't come out. Fine, I'll do it by myself. Puts a glove on him and he goes flying. And that was actually a pretty cool death while he
It
was
was.
like
It was.
riding along the.
Wakanda forever.
Oh my god.
Insert sound here.
A little touch.
And then what was the other one? Glaive. He got shanked in the back.
He got shanked early.
By Vision? No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he got shanked early.
No, he was the last one to die.
But he also got shanked in the scene before when
they first went after Vision.
Yeah, and he was. Am I wrong? He was supposed to be like he was the general in the comic books.
Yeah.
Like he was the badass.
He was Thanos' number 2. in the
Okay,
comics.
cool.
Yep.
And then the Ebony Maw, the super scary freaky one, just got sucked out of the side of the ship
Yeah.
because Homeboy saw aliens one time.
Gravity, bro. I mean, you can't.
Okay, yeah, out of all of the things we're going to agree with in the movie, yeah, gravity's going to be one of them. Not the fact that Doctor Strange was on the ship going somewhere, and he's like, hey, why don't we just turn the ship around? And Tony Stark's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, fine, why don't I just make a fucking vortex and go anywhere I want to in the universe?
He's a master of the mystic art.
Exactly, so why the fuck couldn't he turn the fucking ship back around?
I don't know.
He didn't even...
Well, he eventually agreed with Stark that they may need to go after Thanos
Right,
on his
on
home turf.
Yeah.
I'd like to take the opportunity to shout out another one of our sponsors, Bull's Tavern, located in downtown Winston-Salem. They have 24 taps, classic cocktail lists, and great bourbon selections. Live music, 4 nights a week, and Sunday Fun Day home spot with Bloody Mary and Mimosa Bar. Guys, check out Bull's Tavern in Winston.
Okay, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Hey,
But
just
okay.
saying, just
Anyway,
saying.
my second biggest gripe about the movie is fuck Falcon. He's useless.
He really is.
Even in the scene, like Brokeback War Machine can fucking do way more damage than he can. Okay, I didn't mean to. Okay, his back is actually broken.
They're literally broke
That's not
back.
that wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
Wow, that came out so wrong.
Hashtag Brokeback War Machine is what we're going to be famous for now for like the next 10, 12 episodes.
Okay, but you get what I'm saying though. Like, I hate him.
Yeah, we get it.
Which one, Falcon?
Falcon. Falcon is
Brokeback.
fucking pointless. He's a douchebag. He wears neat little sunglasses, and that's about it. He's even got a douche mustache.
He's got
He's got a
wings.
douche stash.
He's got wings.
So does Red Bull, though.
So, is there anything that you like?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I really liked it. I really enjoyed the movie. I finally, and I've stuck by this ever since the very first Marvel movie I've ever saw, which was Iron Man. Well, Blade, but
Yeah. Wesley.
so I
Slice him, you can
I
dice him,
think-
but
Diving in the
Queen
back
Man just keep
catalog.
coming.
I think. Damn, those are 3 good claps.
That was good.
But no, I stand by. If you center the story around the villain and make your writing about the villain, you're gonna have a fantastic movie.
Right.
Every other movie, like they've either had weak villains and Guardians 1. The villain was ultra weak. Don't even remember his fucking name.
Ronan.
Cool. All right, y'all can go and make out in the corner for all I care.
Yeah, but once he got the Power Stone, he became a bigger deal than what he normally is.
And how did they kill him?
Fucking dance off.
There you go. There you fucking go. Cool.
It was
Right.
a dance-off.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would die in real life.
Point fucking proven. Not by Thor with a giant Stormbreaker axe in your chest. I almost said Stormbringer. That's not a thing. But anyways, no. Okay, so just like Spider-Man: Homecoming, villain, Vulture, amazing fucking movie.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Thanos's Josh Brolin's Thanos is perfect in my eyes.
He's up there with Killmonger, with Vulture,
Yes.
with the really good, with Red Skull,
Dude,
with the really good villains.
I even cared about what was the crazy little Australian guy's name or British guy's name in
That got his arm cut off.
yeah,
by
that got his arm
Ultron.
cut off. What was his name?
Ulysses.
Oh yeah, Claw. Ulysses Claw.
I wish I would. I mean, I loved Killmonger, and
Wait,
like to be honest.
Killmonger, what movie was he in?
Okay,
What movie was he in?
Black Panther is
Wakanda Forever. Insert sound here.
We're not inserting anything. We're just going to keep rolling.
Come on,
Lil
man.
T'Challa over here.
So I said I would have liked to see. I even think that Claw was written well. I thought his character was like creepy and strange. Like I mean, it's cool where he ended because Killmonger obviously needed to be the bad guy, but
right.
focus on the villain. You got a solid movie.
Yeah.
That's why this is one of my
I agree.
favorites.
Any
if
other-
not my favorite.
Any other?
We'll get to that later.
Things you want to call out, Bjorn, in
To be
terms of
honest with
favorite
you,
parts?
like I said, my favorite parts obviously was the bad guy finally wins. Josh Brolin being great. We covered that. Least favorite to me, I know Jordan's not going to agree with me. I really did not like Peter Dinklage in the movie.
I don't get like
So bad.
they kept that so under wraps. How did you not like that?
So bad.
All of a sudden him coming out of nowhere.
You know, to be honest with you, even if they would have told me ahead of time, I would have been like, cool. You know,
A dwarf giant. That's
Right, but
fucking
I felt
hilarious.
It's not that hilarious. And I
Okay.
thought he was actually overacting for once in his life. And I think he's a phenomenal actor. But
Every
when he's-
time I see Peter
Well, he's-
Dinklage, I think of Entourage when they're in the bar and Ari's like, Pete, you're a giant in this town. And he's like, go fuck yourself, Ari.
Before he says that, though, he goes, oh, what is that? Some kind of play on words, asshole? And then he tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
so-
I said, I think he's great as an actor. I was like, well, why are you overacting this part? And, you know, when he's like, Thor, if you stand there and pull the door down, you are going
Boy.
to die. I'm like, what? in
He
the
calls him
fuck?
boy,
Oh, yeah,
not the
boy.
boy.
Like, first of all,
Just
you know
like
his name.
Kratos. I'm furthering myself in God of War, by the way. I've not beat it because there are so many secrets. I digress. Let's keep talking about this movie.
But, you know, I mean, that's honestly one of my biggest gripes. As far as another positive note for me, though, or a positive note, now that I just got done with my biggest gripe, I really have loved the evolution of Thor between Ragnarok and into this one. He went from my least favorite Avenger to, you know, I did not like Thor 1, definitely hated Thor 2. He was pretty good in both Avenger movies, but just seeing him progress, you know, in Ragnarok as well as this one into more of a badass, but also with some more humor and a little bit more comedy. And I don't know if it's just the direction or the writing or whatever the difference may be. I've noticed a huge difference in it, and I really, really have enjoyed seeing him come to where he is, and I hope they keep him around after. You know, I know his contract's about up, just like everybody else on the Avengers. But okay, I mean that's literally it for me as far as that goes.
Can I say one thing real quick? Just a little tiny thing. All right. So actually, it's not really that tiny, but so okay.
what she
So
said.
you said who brought up the wipe out half the universe, and we get that, and like we understand it. You did.
Me did.
Me
I
did.
Behern is all cool with wiping out half the universe.
Yeah.
English as a second language.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not a huge fan of people that aren't my friends, so I'm like, it's not
All right.
a terrible idea.
All right. So I agree with that. So, you know, when you say wipe out half the population, was Groot one of the ones that got?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you got to factor into the equation that trees are living things.
Oh, Jesus.
So I know.
They have emotions and...
No,
and
fuck
is
you.
this a
No, they
green-
don't.
Yeah, but we didn't see
Trees
half the
feel
forest
pain.
disappear.
That's what I'm saying. You see Groot disappear, and he's a fucking tree. Brussels sprout.
Is this
Well-
the Greenpeace section of our show
Yeah,
right
No,
now?
We'll
no.
put a pin in that. That's
Okay,
something to consider
look, just
for later.
just listen to me. I'm not saying that trees have emotions because
I think you just were, but it's okay. Keep going.
I'm not.
This
Groot-
one does.
Okay, so Groot doesn't have emotion when he was
Yes.
dancing in the opening of Guardians 2.
Do trees
already-
dance? Do other trees dance?
I don't know. Does a tree falling in the wood make a sound when no one's around? You
Oh,
fucking
geez.
Jackie Chan.
All right, now we're getting
All right.
super deep.
Then again, that
I
was
have
it.
a couple things that I want to talk about specifically that are my favorite parts. I mean, this new semi-dark, don't give a fuck, smoldering Captain America is...
I do like
this
that.
dude has my fucking attention, man. Like, if you go back pre-Civil War, I hated fucking Captain America. I thought he was a big bitch.
You hated fucking Captain
I
America.
hated Captain America. I thought that he was a pussy. When they show up at the train station and the train's going and you see like the silhouette of Cap, I'm like,
I got hard.
I gave a fist pump. I was just like, this fucking guy, man. Like I genuinely got excited.
People
So-
stared clapping for him there
And-
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in the theater.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's one thing that a lot of people didn't notice. He's as fast as T'Challa.
Oh, that was one of my favorite
was
parts.
awesome.
Like I'm looking at him and I'm like, I
If
knew
not
he was
fast,
Those two were
fast, but I didn't
smoking
know he
all
got
the other
that fast.
heroes out there.
Yeah.
And
they
the
did that
other
in Civil
thing-
War too, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But the other thing, can we just take a moment for Black Widow's ass? How can we not give that national treasure?
I've taken
the
a lot of
credit it
moments
deserves?
for Black Widow's ass.
That motherfucker is timeless. Okay?
Hashtag blessed.
It
You know,
is.
once a movie that
Tight.
thing gets a
Tight like a
close up,
tiger.
and it never ever disappoints. So let's just have a moment of silence for old Scarlet Joe and those.
I agree. I've seen too many Pinterest posts where people are like, "Oh, Bucky and Captain's ass." Yeah, no posts for Black Widow's butt though. We're giving her the love that she deserves.
Anything you got, J-Don?
Well, let's see. Let's go over my gripes because I'm coming from the comic, like reading all the comics and then like pointing out all the differences. But I'll save that. I've got a comic moments coming up. But as far as gripes with the movie, first off, we didn't get to see Thanos take Xandar and take the Power Stone. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. We didn't get to see any of that.
Yeah, he just kind of had it.
He's at it.
Let's see. We didn't get to see the ether, the reality stone in its liquid form and like solidifying into the gauntlet. We just got a, bait and switch with the reality stone, and he already really had it. Let's see. The Secret Adventures, that scene where you were talking about in the train station where Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive come down and try to get Vision for the first time. They had a little skirmish and then they just straight let them get away. I didn't like that.
We don't want to kill you.
But
Why not?
Right.
But we're gonna threaten to, and then we're gonna let you go.
Right.
I didn't like that. And then
And when the glaive got like sucked back up, how did it not cut his hand?
I don't know,
sorry.
man. That's
I'm
just
just gonna sit
from the
here.
comics. That's like the source of his power. So like, if
Yeah.
you break that thing up, like then you can take him down.
Well, he got
Or
killed
I guess
with-
if you
he
jab
got-
it through him.
Yeah, he got killed with his own power, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. How do they breathe on Titan? Was one of my notes. I guess, but that might have been due to Doctor Strange. That might have been a magic spell that because he does that in the Infinity Gauntlet comic. He does a spell and it lasts for 60 seconds and they can breathe in in space. So, but they didn't really explain that too well.
I mean, when Ebony Maw and the large fucker came to Earth and tried to get the time stone from Doctor Strange, he did that little spell that was like whoosh, and there was no wind anymore.
right.
Such a
So-
powerful spell.
So he definitely.
we need that on the over by Stumbles. The windiest intersection
No
of
fucking
Greensboro.
like, whoosh. Like, all right.
Let's see here. To Brian's point, Eitri, the dwarfs. I didn't have a problem with his performance. I just had a problem with that god awful accent. It's like he took his Game of Thrones accent up to 11 or something.
You
and
mean
he's just-
maybe like tripling or quadrupling in size? Maybe.
he completely overdid it? I think.
Oh, is that where you're going to go with quadrupling in size? And
That's like times like 48 on his part.
When the part where Eitri the dwarf says, where he's explaining how he had to make the gauntlet for Thanos, I immediately thought of Seven. And that part where he's like, I made what he wanted me to make. You know, like in Seven where he made him make that leather thing for his junk. That popped in my head.
Seven,
what's in the fucking box?
Yeah, that's Seven.
What's in the box?
Let's see.
That'll be reviewed later.
Banner looks another
Spoiler
gripe.
alert on 7.
Another gripe is Banner looks stupid in the Hulkbuster armor.
He does.
Like when his head popped
so
up. I thought that was really,
So
really
dumb.
stupid.
Oh, you guys are
So
fucked
dumb.
now.
Yeah.
I think the whole Banner can't turn into the Hulk thing is so
Yeah,
dumb.
Terrible.
But
We need
I don't think so because he got his fucking ass beat
When
for the.
can't this dude? When,
Even
since
the sound engineer is
Dude,
like, he did get his ass
Yo, he
whooped.
got his
He got his
ass.
ass whooped. But when can't he fucking control this thing? Like,
No.
after he
it's
got his ass whooped
Yeah,
for the
after he
first
got his
time.
fucking ass whooped. And if you remember, Bruce didn't come out because the Hulk kept him inside for all that time in
yeah, 2
Ragnarok.
years.
In Ragnarok, he thought
So-
if he changed again that he wouldn't be able to change back.
Exactly.
Right.
So now
That's
he
right.
wants him
Now
to
it's
change. and he's
reversed.
That's a
like,
good point. That's a good point.
Oh yeah.
You got any more gripes? I got a couple.
Gripes.
I got a gripe, but I forgot what it was
I got a
because I
couple.
take no
That's
notes.
really all my gripes.
I
No
think
notes.
I'm just gonna do one. I got a couple, but as the resident expert on love on this show,
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
The Dr. Phil of Cleveland.
I am not a fan
Dr.
of this
Sophie.
Vision and Scarlet Witch.
You mean because it literally
romance.
came out of nowhere
It's
and they just did it
fucking
because
stupid.
they wanted someone to feel bad for
Yes.
Vision because Vision is a piece of shit that
Like,
doesn't matter to
I don't
anyone?
understand. It's dumb.
Expose him.
It's dumb.
Expose him.
They wanted to pay off the comic romance,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
and they didn't really do a good job of developing that. Like they were kind of like hanging out together during Civil War, and I think Marvel wanted you to take a little bit more from that. Like you should.
No, because she sent him like 42 stories down. You can't just come back from
Right.
that. That's not a
also,
fight
too,
normal relationships
If you think
have.
about it, though,
Except for,
without the
my
love
ex.
story, I mean, she would have been out in that battle to begin with. So that's why she was, behind, trying to hang out for a little bit, and then she finally comes out to help. So the love story,
Where
I
has
guess,
she been this whole time?
Right. Which, she should have been out there, but because she loves him so much, and that's the way they played it up.
We get it.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
It doesn't do
We
it for
get
me.
it.
It doesn't do
And
Love
Peter
Doctor.
and Peter Quill fucking up the plan to
Yeah.
steal the
Piece
Infinity
of
Gauntlet.
shit.
Look, bro, I get it, homie. You just found out your girl's dead, but there's no I in Team Playboy. Come on.
I don't like that. I don't like everybody shitting on Star Lord. I liked him.
Why?
I've always loved him. Well, first off, it was his plan to begin with.
to randomly beat up.
No.
Thanos?
The whole plan to distract him and then let Mantis swoop in and
And then
hold him down.
and then talk shit to his face like a fucking 14-year-old would.
That's emotions taking over.
Yeah.
Emotions take no. Once his plan had worked, he should have just been like, "Yeah, guys, my fucking plan worked."
That's
But
right.
no, he was like, "Was this your plan the whole time, Thanos? Like, did you think you were gonna just get away with it and
Why
not
are
be
you
that
so
easy?"
close to the mic? It's kind of creepy.
Does it sound
You can't.
good?
You shouldn't lick that.
No.
Wait, this little pop filter isn't like an edible.
All
All right, let's
just
get
saying.
to the, it's
Grades?
time for,
You wanna
it's
do a
time
grade?
for grades. Time to go back to school.
Let's
so-
see who's gonna. Let's do.
Go ahead,
Saber.
Jordan. You want me to go first?
I want you to go first, baby lion.
Baby lion.
We're just
I
gonna rename-
almost,
we're just gonna
said
rename-
baby bear again, and
We're going to rename the show Jordan's Pet Names.
All right, I give it an A. It lived up to expectations. Like I said, it started fast and furious. It never slowed down. When it ended, I was sweating.
like we are right now.
And it wasn't even hot. It kept me thinking into the following day, and I think that's the making of a great movie. And one of the things that I text
Agreed.
you guys afterwards is that for that whole night, I was in the Infinity War days. Like, I was afraid to drive home because I looked at Courtney and I said, I don't know if I can focus on the road right now. This shit just fucked me up.
yeah,
I'm scared.
So-
I'm gonna flake away into nothing.
I give it
While
an
I'm
A.
driving.
give it a name.
A big A.
Damn.
Honestly, I give it an A as well. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said, Josh Brolin was a monster in that role. I thought everybody got their fair share of time in the movie. And, I literally enjoyed it. I've seen it twice already. I'll probably see it a couple more times. I thought it was just utterly amazing.
I totally give it A+. This movie is amazing. It had so many like gasp causing moments. Like what the Squidward line.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The Arrested Development Easter egg in there.
Yes.
Where
Which
they're
I-
in the collector's collection and you see a blued out Tobias Funke.
How about the what master?
In his
what master do you
cutoffs.
serve? When he's like, "What master do you serve?" He's like,
What am I supposed to say, Jesus? Fantastic.
That shit. The first time we see the Guardians and the Detroit Spinners start playing, oh my
Yes.
God, that was one of my favorite parts. They pulled
The rubber band man.
Yeah, they pulled a really great soundtrack or a great song from Guardians and plopped it in with
Well, there was only two
Infinity
songs in
War.
the whole video.
I know.
Or in the whole movie, Rubber Band Man and the Wakanda theme song.
Yeah.
Wakanda,
Saba
Wakanda
is our
forever.
Saba's our Wakanda reporter on the street, by the way, in case you haven't noticed.
Just saying.
Captain Wakanda over there.
I loved
Wakanda
it.
forever.
And the biggest what the hell moment, or I'm sorry, I'll redo that. The biggest what the fuck moment was the Guardian of the Soul Stone turning out to be the Red Skull.
Red Skull.
So good.
This thing looked like, it felt like an Indiana Jones movie. It had Nazis and everything.
So is there any story behind that? I was going to ask you with the Red Skull piece.
They just plopped
Yeah.
it in there because it was amazing. Because if you think about it, when you watch the first Captain America movie, he does just disappear.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't die.
And we all assumed he was dead.
He was dead.
Right.
But when they set it up so perfectly, because when you see the cloak floating towards Thanos and Gamora on that random planet that I do not remember the name
Vormir.
Yes.
of.
Good job.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah, my legs just quivered. But yes, on Vormir, when he you see the cloak and you or at least comic book fans immediately imagined it was death.
that's what I thought.
But then he
immediately.
had a male's voice, so I mean, I assumed his gender, and it showed Red Skull, and I was like,
Fun fact, you know who played Red Skull in this movie?
Yes.
Aaron from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, his name's
Yeah.
Ross Marquand
Yeah,
or something like
Marquand.
that.
But it wasn't like Hugo Weaving.
Right.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
does fantastic
Is he-
impersonations, though.
is
He
he,
really does.
Agent Smith, I think, had too much of Red Skull. He didn't want to do it anymore. But I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I kind of knew that it wasn't Hugo Weaving, but it didn't take me out of the movie. Like he did a spot on.
I saw it after the fact.
He did a great impression, but then I heard an interview with him where Marvel told him like, look, this guy's been gone and out of his element for 70 plus years. I mean, just like Cap. I mean, Cap was frozen,
Right.
But Red Skull's been here guarding the stone the entire time, and he's gonna sound a little weary and he's gonna sound a little not himself. And I think he did an excellent job.
all right, well, I'll give my grade for the movie, and I say also it was an A+. It's by far no contest my favorite Marvel movie ever made, or comic book movie ever made, and except for Blade 1.
Wesley Snipes, we love you.
Darkness.
Come on,
Darkness is spreading.
yeah. Like I said, man. You make the villain relatable, and you put his story before all else, and you've got the makings of a fantastic movie. And I think that Infinity War just capitalized on that. I loved every single sidebar storyline. I love how it all mashed together, kind of at the end. I loved the final line in the entire movie was "Oh God."
Cap.
By Captain, the very first time he's ever been somewhat pessimistic, ever. And they had so many times that I knew what was going to happen, or I knew what I wanted to happen. I didn't know if they were going to pussyfy it for the millennials or whatever the fuck,
The PG-13 crowd.
the PG-13 crowd.
That's his new gamer tag.
But millennials or whatever the fuck. But when Thor, who became the largest badass in existence,
Yes,
yeah.
he did.
You guys in control now.
Bring me Thanos.
I was like, sure, I'll try and go get him right now.
Let me page him.
I got an extra one in the back. I don't know if. So when he came down with Stormbreaker into his chest, I was like, no,
Yeah,
they're not gonna do this.
right.
And then
Especially after he got all the stones.
oh my god!
I'm like,
And-
come on.
Yeah, you're. He has one of the stones, and he's already the most powerful person in existence.
Right. It's 6 of them.
No. I'm saying no. That's what they said when he had.
I thought maybe you forgot how many there were.
Angry.
Oh.
You won't like Jordan when he's
You won't like
angry.
Jordan when he's angry, which rarely happens, and I'm
This is
happy
true.
about
I
that
know,
because I
I'm
live a
sorry.
happy
I'm sorry.
life.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
You little slender boob area.
You tender little packet pouch. Okay, so what? Okay, it is my favorite, and I forgot one gripe.
Okay.
I forgot one very, very, very big gripe
Bring
of
it up.
mine. We meddled on it earlier, and that's when Tony Stark is fighting Thanos. They're all fighting Thanos, right?
On Titan.
On Titan.
Right.
And he's and all this for one drop of blood.
Yeah.
And first of all, I thought they were going to do a really shitty thing and be like, oh, yeah, I just got these nanobots, and the nanobots are in you now, and they're just going to, like, tear you apart from the inside. But they didn't do that. I'm really glad about that. But then Thanos breaks off his sword arm and punctures him. Like, probably, like, like a foot thick.
It's a good puncture.
Yes.
You don't come back from that.
It's
and
not
Doctor
a paper cut.
Doctor Strange is like, spare his life. And I'm sure Tony was like, I'm already dead.
Dude's dead already.
Right.
Right.
Me and you would be dead.
I am gone, homie.
Yeah.
And Thanos was like, yeah, all right, I'll not do anything else to him, I guess.
I thought he was
He's like,
ready to die. but I
little
guess
do
not.
you know, he's gone. And then he just like frost heals himself
Yes.
with a little spray.
The same way he did the ship.
Like, yeah.
The same way Rocket did the ship in Guardians 2. He had that little gun that sprayed the,
Yeah.
the
Nice.
Yeah.
shit back
And
on
it,
there.
and it just doesn't. Come on, man. Like, and he's not even in pain at all after
Well,
that.
he looks.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's just like, why'd you do that? Why'd you give the stone away?
He made the Robert Downey Jr. face.
I saw the blood drip out of his mouth. I got that he was
that's
on
And
a
you know,
break.
in movies, whenever you get injured at all, blood comes out of your mouth.
Sure.
Right.
True.
Right. I want to sprain my ankle.
Want to take the opportunity to shout out one of our sponsors, Jeff Beal, who specializes in consulting, design, and project management of any project, specializing in automation systems. For Jeff, guys, no job is too big or too small. Find Jeff on Instagram at GEOFF_pronounced_JEFF.
Thank you for listening to episode 2, part 1. Make sure you're following us on social media. It is at MultiPoptural on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as SoundCloud.